talking today with Peter Ostapiuk of Intelsat about 4K TV. Peter, we've got this fantastic backdrop to this interview. 4K TV is absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a magnificent picture and a great, very immersive experience for the viewer.
How have you been preparing for it? What are some of the processes that go into making this possible?
So really, as a company, we're looking at 4K from three different perspectives. First, we are in touch with a lot of the companies that are part of the ecosystem of delivery of the 4K. It takes technologies anywhere from the studio and the production all the way to the TV manufacturers to actually deliver the 4K signal. And you need all the pieces to be there to be able to deliver that signal. And quite frankly, today, not all the pieces of the technology are there. But by staying in touch with all the different players in the ecosystem, we are able to pretty accurately, I think, judge when the 4K is actually going to become reality as the service. Secondly, we've been involved in preparing the demos of the 4K over the satellite, and this is really to prove that today satellite companies and the satellite infrastructure is already prepared to support the 4K. What you see here today on the screen is the demonstration of a true 4K Ultra HD, which is 422, 10 bits with the 60 frames per second, and we're transmitting that over the satellite with the data rate of 100 megabits per second. And we're actually able to support that on the 33 megahertz transponder on our IS-1 West satellite. We chose to do the contribution feed as a concept of proof because it's most difficult and challenging to fit on the satellite. For the secondary distribution in the future with the highly efficient video coding, you'll be able to do that at about 20 to 30 megabits per second. So we thought that 100 megabits per second is a kind of a worst case scenario, and being able to demonstrate that we can support that today, proves the point. And thirdly, what we are doing is by talking with our customers, we are forecasting a future demand and number of channels being launched on the HD. So as a satellite company, we can properly plan our future satellite launches and the capacity that can support the 4K for our customers into the future.
Yeah, when do you think 4K might become what they call the mainstream delivery vehicle?
Right, that's a very interesting question. We get a lot of the folks asking about looking into the crystal ball and coming up with some time frames. So if I kind of follow the same structure as we discussed earlier, when you look at the ecosystem, we believe that over the next 12 to 18 months, all of the pieces of the ecosystem will be there in place to launch the HD. So that's the good news. But it's more than just the ecosystem. We really need a content. And if there's a lesson to learn from the 3D and what happened with the 3D is that it's not just the technology, but the content has to be there as well. So we have to be very careful as an industry that we don't let the technology get ahead of the consumer demand and the supply of the programming. Yeah. So from discussions with our customers, we believe that you're going to start seeing commercial launches of the 4K probably as early as late next year, and I think that will ramp up quickly over the next 36 months. When it comes to the mainstream, I'm a firm believer that initially 4K is going to be a niche, higher tier programming offering by the pay TV industry for the movie and the sports channels, and probably it will take several years to have dozens or hundreds of channels of UHD, and that probably will be closely connected to the rollout of the high-speed local access networks like fiber to the home pay TV systems. Yeah.
So you see 4K being much more of a game changer than 3D turned out to be?
I believe so. 3D, I think, was a little different story. I mean, it's a different visual experience, requires wearing the glasses. And that didn't take with the customers, really well. But as I mentioned earlier, one of the problems with 3D was the lack of the content. When you look at some data about the 3D and the physical media, actually 3D is not doing that bad. The 3D Blu-ray DVD sales are growing, and the studios are able to realize additional revenues by showing 3D movies in the movie theaters. It's really the linear 3D TV that that suffered from probably a lack of content and some technical challenges. 4K is really different. I think it's a much more immersive experience, and the customers are able to realize the difference very easily looking at the 4K screen. And if you look at a lot of the consumer research that is done, one of the first attributes of the video service that the customers rank very highly is the video quality. I think it remains to be seen what is the quality of the 4K delivered to the screen once it goes through the DTH head end or through the cable head end. And whether it's still compelling, and we have to make sure that it's delivered at the best quality, so the consumers actually can see the difference and demand the 4K services.
Okay, Peter, thanks very much for talking to us. As an Englishman, I'm very pleased you're showing Manchester United.
We're looking forward to the rugby match tomorrow, which actually is going to be showing Gloucester and the Saracen game and at Intelsat booth from 3 to 5 on Sunday.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.